Hey guys, it's Otto here, back with another video. So I'm super excited to bring this to you today. And what I'm going to do today is go through every single aspect, every single component and input that we have in place with our build and release Ecom email agency that allows us to charge upfront payments of anywhere between 6 to 12k. Okay, now if you are interested in being able to actually repackage your service delivery into a build and release offer, or you want to tap into the vein of gold that is Ecom email agency and Ecom email marketing, then this video is going to show you absolutely everything that you need to know. Okay, so it might be a long video, buckle in for this one. We're going to go through a huge wireframe here. Like I say, going over every single aspect that you need to know in order to actually do the same. And what we're going to go over can be summarized here. Okay, so we're going to go over all the setup. We're going to actually go over creating offers and how to set prices accurately. We're going to go through our hiring process, who we hire specifically, how we hire them, and how we get away with charging and actually paying incredibly low rates. We're going to show you how to find service market fit with a very unique hack that we use. I've not seen anywhere else online, anybody else using it. We're going to go through every single stage of outreach, okay, from prospecting, campaign setup, cold email setup, sequences, subsequences, and all of the scripts that we use. Again, we're going to go through sales calls processes and what we do and exactly what you should say if you want to start commanding prices like this. We're going to go through creating video audits, okay, and what you need to actually pick out from your client Klaviyo accounts in order to demonstrate value and build trust with them so that you can close them. We're going to go through full service delivery and operations of the build and release model, okay? So if you're not familiar with build and release deals, we're going to show you how to actually apply that in the Ecom email space. We're going to go through a step-by-step walkthrough of all of the operations that we do in-house. And then we're finally going to go over offboarding and how you can actually upsell, cross-sell and downsell tangential services so that you can still have projected consistent monthly recurring revenue on top of getting that big cash injection at the start of working with each new client you bring on, okay? So without further ado, and actually before that, what I want to do is show you that this has not only worked for me, I've been doing this for the last 6 years, this has also worked for people who are exactly sat in your position now. They're on YouTube, they're looking for ways to successfully scale their Ecom email agency, and a person of such that achieved this was one of the guys in our community, Steve, okay? So Steve quit his job. He had never had a business. He wanted to start a business. He wanted financial freedom, time freedom, and basically wanted to be his own boss, okay? And what Steve specifically wanted to do was tap into the vein of gold that is Ecom email marketing. He wanted, and he knew that he wanted to use Klaviyo as a service to provide as his, transformation that he provides for all of his clients. But what he wanted to avoid was basically commoditization, okay? So he didn't want to just be seen as another agency in an already oversaturated marketplace. He wanted to bring something totally unique into the marketplace, and he got rewarded for that, okay? So within weeks, Steve was already booking calls. He was getting on sales calls. He was winning projects. His first ever client that he was able to bring on from our advice and using this build and release model that I'm going to talk you through step by step in this video, he actually closed them for 6k upfront, okay? So he got 6k payment into his Stripe account. He then deposited that into his bank account before he even had to lift a finger for any sort of service delivery, okay? So it totally eradicated all payment risk for him. So you can see that here, okay? He was messaging me on our channel on Discord, and I asked him, is this the 6k build and release offer? Yes, it is. Build and release, all foundational advanced flow segmentation. I'm going to show you in this video. 6k up front, 48-hour window to build out. Incredible. So such a short period of time, went from an employee to closing a 6k upfront build and release offer. And then again, I'm not going to labour this point, but I just want to prove that, this is not just something, there's no confirmation bias, okay? It's not just something that's worked for me. We've replicated this for hundreds of other individuals just like you in your position, okay? So without further ado, what we're going to do is dive headfirst into this wireframe, okay? Like I say, it's a big wireframe, and this is going to reveal every single step, every single granular input that you need to have in place in order to be successful in deploying your build and release Ecom email agency offer, okay? So like I say, this might be a long video. I'm not going to have any edits in here. There's not going to be any fun music, any cuts, anything flashy, okay? It's just pure value right here, all right? So to get started, you have to have some sort of physical presence in place, okay? Now, what you shouldn't do and what you don't need to do is go and spend 3 weeks on creating a gorgeous, brilliant Webflow website with 5 to 7 different tabs, okay? We need to get you set up in the quickest amount of time possible with an MVP. All right, so minimum viable product. We need to get you out into the marketplace, outreaching and getting live feedback from the clients that you're outreaching to, so that you can optimize that and start closing clients and making money. Okay, we want to reduce that delta between launch to collecting cash in your bank account. Now, most newbies, most first-time entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, they get hung up on the small things, okay? So they will spend hours or months even building out landing pages. They will deliberate about their business name. They'll spend hours creating their logos. And what I want to tell you is that you have to just get to this, you have to get this stuff out of the way, okay? So you don't even need a business name, use your own personal name, whatever it might be. Create a landing page, use Go High Level. This is what we use as our CRM, what we recommend you use. And don't deliberate on these details, okay? The longer you deliberate on these, the further away actually earning revenue and making money is going to be for you, right? So build your landing page and use GHL, create a name, make sure you have a LinkedIn profile, so your name. It doesn't have to be optimized. You don't have to pay for a LinkedIn course. Just say who you are and what you do, and get a logo, okay? So you can whack it on your landing page and make it look legitimate. Now, what we're going to do is talk a little bit about offer here, okay? And I'm going to just put that to one side so that we can get the other assets in place here. You need to have a way that you can actually bill your clients, okay? So in order to make money, you have to have a checkout experience or capability. You have to have a payment gateway, a merchant account, okay? So open a Stripe account, or you can use Square, you can use Lemon Squeezy. There's a load of different other merchant accounts out there, but open a Stripe account so that you can actually physically send a payment link to your clients and they can click it and give you their money, okay? So very, very important. The sooner you do that, the easier it's going to be for you to actually contextualize making money, okay? You have to put all of these tangible things in place so there's no friction, there's no mental bottlenecks between you and actually collecting that cash, all right? Thirdly, you need to start prepping for outreach, okay? So if you haven't already, you need to buy some domains. We're going to talk about this just shortly in the video here under the outreach section. But make sure that you've got some domains. You want to have one domain for your company, and then you want to have a couple or 2 to 3 burner domains that it won't matter if they get flagged for being spam or if you have to shut them down. And for each domain, you need to set up 1 to 2 now. We used to recommend 2 to 5, but 1 to 2 users per email account, okay? So if you have mydomain.com, you want to have 2 users on there, otto@mydomain.com and ottofrederick@mydomain.com, okay? Second to that, you need an ESP, okay? So we recommend Instantly. Instantly is going to provide you with a way for sending out emails in volume to thousands of different brands all around the world with personalized email scripts so that you can actually book them onto a call and then close them as a client, okay? So Go High Level for your CRM, Instantly for your ESP, all right? And then once you're inside Instantly, you simply have to sync your domains. It's an easy process, and you need to start warming your domains, okay? So we're not going to go into this specifically now, but it's worth doing if you think that, you're going to launch in a month or whatever, or you're thinking about launching this. Just start warming email domains. We even warm domains, in perpetuity right now for future offers that we may or may not launch, okay? Just so we know that that sending infrastructure is already set up and ready to go. CRM wise, like I say, open High Level, create a free trial. I'm going to drop a link to some of the tools that we use below where we've got extended free trials, which will help you out. Okay, and finally, and I guess most importantly, is to open a Klaviyo account. So you can do this for free. Now again, go to Klaviyo, click sign up. You're not going to have to pay. You're not going to have to put in your card details. You need to have a Klaviyo account so that your clients can actually add you into their Klaviyo accounts, okay? So this is important when you start offering to do video audits and things like that. Now, I, again, don't want you just to think that this is all theory. This is our Klaviyo account. I've used a Chrome blurring plugin here so that you don't actually see the account names. But you can see that we've got 13 accounts under management. Now, let me see. What is that? On the back end, we bill no less than $5,000 per account. So 65 grand, okay, so I'm terrible at keeping up to date with our monthly recurring revenue, and it does fluctuate. But I just want to, again, show you the proof that this is not just theory-based, okay? We are doing this. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I still do this in-house. So nothing that I'm teaching, nothing that I'm telling you to do is based on something I've read. It's based on practical, tangible things that I've actually done and achieved myself, all right? So I'm going to put that to one side, and actually I'll just cancel that tab. Okay, so we have got our foundation set up. We're going well, and we're 9 minutes in, all right? So I told you this is going to be a long video. Now, When it comes to your offer, here's what you need to do. Now, we've got a free offer rating tool called ratemyoffer.co. You don't have to put in your credit card details or anything like that. And if you input your offer, we'll actually give you an instant rating on how strong that offer is, okay? We rank it out of 28 individual data inputs, and it is basically going to shoot out at the end of it whether you've got a good offer or whether your offer is bad and is going to be oversaturated, okay? But if you are deliberating about your offer, here's what you need to do. Now, the first thing you need to do is focus on what your skills and experience are. So if you are maybe coming from an ecom background, maybe you've worked as a Crow specialist or as an account manager in a marketing agency that work with ecom clients, whatever it might be, start to explore what your skills and experience are and see if you can actually apply that to the industry, okay? So if you've got the ability to talk in depth about, nuanced pieces of information about the niche that you are targeting for your ecom email agency, then that's going to help you tenfold when you actually go into sales conversations, okay? Now, this might be pet care, okay? I put an example here. Second to this, and this is an important one that I've learned after 6 years of doing this, is actually what are your desires and your goals, okay? So maybe you have skills and experience in pet care, but you actually have a personal preference for, I don't know, dogs or horses or whatever it might be, and actually you'd hate to work with brands that, create food for cats or products for cats, okay? Having these kind of thoughts early on in the process is going to really help you build a business that you enjoy. Okay, so you might be sat there thinking, well, I don't care about what I enjoy. I just want money, and I respect that. Back, thankfully not now, but when I first started years ago, that was the situation for me. But I promise you, you'll get to a stage in your business where money no longer becomes a motivator. Okay, so you're making plenty of money, and actually you need to be having fulfillment and fun. Okay, and a way to achieve that fulfillment and fun whilst making lots of money is to tie your business into something that you're kind of naturally inclined towards or that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be your passion, but if you have a natural propensity towards it and to be engaged with it and to enjoy it, then that is going to help you in the process. Okay, so think about what your skills and experience are. Think about what you actually want for your business. Revenue potential is the kind of the mother of all kind of categorizations for your offer. Okay, so no matter how good your offer is, if you are within a niche that is dying, if you're working with print media or cable TV or whatever it might be, your offer is only going to be as good as the glass ceiling in that niche. Okay, now I always want to be in a vertical and a niche where the potential to earn money is unlimited. There's no cap, and that's going to help me scale my business indefinitely. Okay, so if you have skills, desires, and experiences for industries that have no, high revenue earning potential, then maybe don't go down that route. Pick something that you can actually earn an indefinite amount of money in. Okay. Now, the beauty of the build and release offer is that you are offering something different, okay? And to show that differentiation, you have to demonstrate that verbally in all of your touch points with your clients, okay? So whether it's on your LinkedIn page or your landing page or the email correspondence or outreach that you're having with your potential clients, you need to really ram it home that you are not a marketing agency, okay? Most companies, B2B, most brands do not want to work with marketing agencies. If you say the words marketing and agency together, it's kind of like a cross, a big cross mark against your name, and it's immediately going to stop you getting the engagement you need in order to get into that pitching and sales environment where you can actually close clients and then make money from them. Okay, so different ways of positioning this. Maybe you're a partner, maybe you're an experienced consultant, you've worked in the industry, whatever it might be. You have to make it clear to them that you're not an agency. Now, when we go out to our brands that we work with the build and release offer, we say to them, look, we're not an agency. Actually, what your agency will oftentimes promise yet fail to deliver within 7 to 9 months, we deliver overnight. Okay, and this is how we do it. That's kind of the premise of how we introduce our build and release offers to our clients. All right. Now, when it comes to being different and your offer as a whole, you want to make sure that you have specificity, okay? So you have to clearly demonstrate the transformation that you're going to guarantee for your clients. You need to give them a clear time frame. You need to set the expectations clearly that the client is beholden to. So are they going to, if they onboard with you and if you close them, are they going to have to spend the next 6 months educating you? Are you going to have to go in-house? Are they going to have to teach you everything about their business, or is it really turnkey? You understand the industry and they're not going to have to lift a finger, okay? Now, the final point of creating a really specific offer here, and again, I've got loads of different videos out on offer creation. It's what we do in the school community too, directly with you. But again, top level wise, have a risk reversal. Okay, have some sort of guarantee, whether that's a no questions asked, 100% money back guarantee, or a conditional guarantee, and this is going to help you get into your pricing conversations. Okay, so once you've got your offer and all of your baseline assets in place, you need to start thinking about price. Now, I was on a consulting call earlier this morning with a young guy who's just launching his Ecom email agency. And one of the things that I talked to him about was the distinction between confidence and conviction. Now, as a business owner, regardless of how long you've been in business, the likelihood of you being 110% confident in every single sales scenario that you ever get into will be zero. Okay, you will never be on a sales call or indeed anything in any other aspect, operations or recruitment, whatever it might be in your business. You're never going to feel 110% confident. Okay, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you don't have the level of conviction that you will need in order to actually close clients. Okay, so there's a key distinction between confidence and conviction. You can get on sales calls with a lack of confidence, but have a huge amount of conviction in the transformation that you're going to deliver for the client that they don't even pick up on your lack of confidence. Okay, and it's not, there's a nuanced change, there's a nuanced kind of difference where it's not about convincing your client or making them believe you. It's about making them believe that you believe you. Okay, and that you believe your promises that you make, and you believe that you will be able to deliver on the transformation and the guarantee that you're providing. Okay, so when it comes to price, this is where a lot of young guys, get held up on, and they think, in order to actually be able to close clients with my level of confidence right now, which is low, I'm going to have to charge a low price. The beauty of a build and release offer is that you can, the way that the deal is structured, the way that the whole relationship with the client is so non-committal that they're not tied in. There's a low level of risk there in terms of what they're being locked into, i.e. nothing. It's a lot easier to actually bill higher immediate figures and then cross-sell, downsell, or downsell or upsell retainer-based services on the back end. Okay, so for now, all you have to focus on is that you charge up front. You're not a marketing agency. We charge up front for an overnight infrastructure build or a 7-day infrastructure build, whatever you're comfortable doing. We charge between 6 to 12K. Again, if you are in a low cost of living area, if you have a low income, whatever it might be, maybe you are more, happier, more comfortable in the first instance billing a $2,000 upfront, build, and that would actually transform your life, then do that. Okay, you have to feel comfortable enough in order to actually pitch this stuff. Okay, but don't focus on projected cash flow right now. So you might be thinking, if I charge a upfront payment, then I'm losing my opportunity to bill on the back end and actually get retainers and have projected consistent cash flow. Okay, but like I just showed you, the 13 accounts that we've got under account management, all of these companies were from initial builds, okay, that we've then been able to cross-sell and upsell onto retainer-based services. And when you deliver something so big and so transformational and so impressive within such a short period of time compared to anybody else in the marketplace, the agencies, then you're going to be able to build a huge amount of initial trust with that client that you can then leverage, which makes selling retainer-based services incredibly easy. Okay. Now, again, if you haven't done this already, it might feel like that's difficult, but I'm going to show you again in this video how you can do it. All right. So once we've got the offer in place, we need to start thinking about hiring. Okay, now what we do in our agency is we always favor simplicity. And I personally, as a business owner, and it's what I teach my team, I want to have the maximum amount of output and get the maximum amount of gain from the minimum amount of inputs. Okay, so I do not want to layer for layering's sake. I don't want to have 5 SDRs when I could have 1 SDR and a combined appointment setter. Okay, I don't want to have a email copywriter, a technical expert, a Klaviyo technical expert, a deliverability expert, a graphic designer, an account manager, when I could have a full stack Klaviyo implementer who could do everything. All right. Now, when it comes to actually deploying your assets for the brands, the clients that you're working with, at the start, there's nothing stopping you delivering it yourself, okay? But in the first instance, you want to get the ball rolling when it comes to actually getting designers and getting administrative staff and full stack implementers in place so that you can draw on their experience and you can leverage human capital, their manual input, if you get into a scenario where you've closed a couple of clients and you can't deploy that service for yourself. All right. So instead of having all of those experts, what we focus on is having one designer. We actually have a senior and a junior designer now, and a full stack Klaviyo implementer. And the full stack Klaviyo implementers are basically admin staff who are responsible for deploying and scheduling the campaigns, the flows that we've already built the systems with in-house. Okay, so we've already got that body of assets built in-house, which if you are in school, in our school community, you will be getting access to if you become an engaging member of the community. We used to have it in it's in our product called the Ecom Email Accelerator, where we basically deliver all of that infrastructure for you so that you can just start selling it tomorrow within 24 hours. But in the first instance, and in any case, it's always a good idea just to start building your hiring channels. Okay, so when it comes to channels, we have a few outbound ones. Mostly we use Upwork, onlinejobs.ph, those kind of for hire website sort of channels. You can go through agencies, and then there are also premium services as well, which simply we wouldn't really recommend. You don't need them. Okay, we found perfectly good people on Upwork. What you then need to do is actually screen those candidates. We then focus on putting those screen candidates into an Airtable database. They will then actually populate data into that database through an Airtable form, which builds out that database of individuals. And then from there, we have a number of different workflows in Go High Level that then sends out NDAs to them, trial tasks, and whether we're going to engage them or not. Now, when it comes to creating a trial task, what you will find with a lot of Klaviyo professionals online, whether they're on Upwork or Fiverr, is that when you ask for a portfolio, they will send you a Google file of designs and flows and websites and a load of random shit. Okay, and the issue with that is that you don't know actually what they've done in there. You don't know whether they've designed those emails themselves, whether they've written the copy, whether they've actually just scheduled those flows and scheduled those campaigns. You don't know specifically what they've done. So what you need to do is specifically ask them, what did you do? Okay, with this case study, whatever it is, what specifically did you do? Did you do the design? How did you design it? What tools did you use? Okay. Now, typically what we will do, if it's a designer, we will give them, and likewise, if it's a full stack implementer, we will give them a trial task. Okay. And we will pay them for that task. The reason that we pay them for that task is that we don't have, we have capital, but we don't have time to waste. Okay. So, and also in my opinion, it's fair. Okay. If somebody's doing work for you, they deserve to be paid. Okay. So set the expectations clearly for them. You need to set a specific time frame. Create a very simple Google document, tell them what they're going to get paid. You're going to get $50 for this. We'll pay you after it. You've got between now and 9 a.m. UK tomorrow to complete it. If you've got any questions, you need to send those to us within the next 2 hours, whatever it might be, and you need to give them a specific task. Okay, don't necessarily, we actually did this in the early days, when we didn't have capital, when I was first starting out. We would actually give trial tasks. When we close clients, we would give trial tasks and be able to pay a slightly lower rate for, email designs or flow setups, things like that, that we could actually then deploy for our clients and iterate on. Okay, so it was a way of kind of scaling those immediate inputs, and it's something you can do. But in any case, you have to be honest, you have to be upfront, transparent, be fully ethical with everybody that you're paying within your business. And go from there. Okay, so what you want to make clear there is that the fee that you're giving them is not an hourly rate. So you're going to say, okay, look, it's 2 hours of work. We're giving you a cap fee of $50 just to cover your time. But just to be clear, this is not if you're successful, this is not the hourly rate that we are going to go forward and take you on for. Okay, we will set that at a later date. And what we recommend is that you pay per account. Okay. Or there's two ways really. You can pay per account, or you can pay per a maximum total managed number of accounts. All right. So when it comes to the full stack Klaviyo implementer, they are responsible for everything other than graphic design. Okay. Don't use somebody who's an implementer or a virtual assistant to do graphic design for you. You have to have a graphic designer who understands e-commerce best practices. Okay. We typically hire out of South America. We've tried lots of different areas and countries around the world, but we found that you can actually find incredibly talented senior graphic designers in South America and pay them an hourly rate of anything from just under $20 per hour up to $25 per hour. Okay, junior designers, you can typically charge anything between sort of 8 to 12 USD per hour. Okay, but then you will oftentimes suffer on the quality of designs or their ability to actually follow design templates and your instructions. Okay, so you can pay per account, but there's no reason why you can't just have one full stack Klaviyo implementer that's managing 4 to 6 accounts for about $400 per month. Okay, so super cheap, super scalable. All right. Now, instead of every new client that you bring on, you then have to bring on new account managers and new graphic designers and new copywriters and new technical experts. You're paying $2,000 each per month. You can get away with just paying $400 per month for your full stack Klaviyo implementer. Okay, so from there, trial task, we either hire them or we don't. We like to keep in touch with people. You know, they might in a few years. We're in this for the long term. We've been doing this for 6 years, so we've had guys who have applied to work with us 4 years ago. At that time, they weren't skilled enough. Now they are, and we can work with them. Okay, so once you've hired them, send them a contract and get them onboarded into your company. Now, when it comes to next steps, what I like to do, this is not necessarily a mandatory step, but it's something I like to do with any new offer to actually find service market fit. Okay, and what I do specifically is get a pool of 10 individual ideal client profiles. So these are our ideal clients that we want to work with. And if you are, thinking of considering deploying Klaviyo email as a service, you will already have the types of brands. Maybe it's Nike, maybe it's a local business. Okay, you will have some sort of idea of your ideal client profile. What we do in-house for any new offer, we haven't done this a while because we've already got our offer and we just repeat on the success that we've had with that. But what we would do is pick 10 ICPs. We would source the point of contact for each ICP. So we would go direct to the source, the company founder, the brand CEO, whatever it might be. And we would do one of two things. Okay, so we would either sign up to their mailing list or we would actually buy a product. Now, this isn't viable if they are, luxury Hermes handbags or whatever it might be, and you're going to spend 12 grand. Okay, we don't recommend doing that, but we actually have to look at cost of acquisition. Now, in order to get any sort of client or sell to any sort of customer, there's going to be a cost of acquisition associated to that. Okay, if you're running ads, it's going to be financial. If you're doing it yourself through manual cold outreach, it's going to be human capital, your time and your attention. But in any case, you're going to have to spend something. Now, one of the best ways to build trust and to demonstrate to potential brands that you are serious about what you do and that you have actually taken a considered approach and a specific approach to working with them, and you know them as a brand, and you know their products, is to actually buy a product from them. Okay, so maybe it's a cosmetics brand or it's a men's underwear brand, and you're going to spend $5 or $10, whatever it might be. Do it. Okay, and what you need to do from there is basically once you get the product, take a picture of yourself with the product. And if you can't wait until then, and you want to move quickly, remembering this is only for 10 ICPs. This is not for all of your automated outreach campaigns that we're going to talk about in a minute. Take a picture of yourself with the product, or if you can't wait, take a picture of the receipt. Okay, and this is what you're going to plug into your email campaigns. Okay, so you're going to actually show them in your first cold email outreaches that you've engaged with their brand. So you can say to them, look, I've subject line could be recent purchase, or I just bought X, whatever it might be. Talk about the purchase, talk about why you love it, how you love it, and then introduce slightly the fact that what you deliver as a service might be relevant for their brand. Okay, so if you don't have the budget for that, you can just simply sign up to their mailing list. You can then audit their welcome email, audit the follow-up emails that you receive, and then base your outreach on that. Okay, so are you receiving a welcome email within 30 minutes? If not, you can talk to them about that. I noticed I signed up to your email list, I didn't actually get an email within 30 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it might be. And I've got a couple of pointers that might help. If you shorten that time, you might find that your placed order values or your order frequencies might increase. Okay, same with abandoned cart. You might add products into your cart and then on purpose, actually abandon cart. See what abandoned cart sequences you get run through and see what you can comment on and improve. Okay, so when it comes to delivering value, okay, and asking for micro commitments, that's what it's all about. It's not about saying to them, okay to send you more information, or okay to jump on a call to do an audit. Okay, I get hammered daily with free value requests. Okay, and really that's what they are. They're requests. They're not giving me free value of any sort. And what you need to do is separate the jargon, the industry kind of buzzword of value, to actually what your specific ICPs will find valuable. Okay, so I do not, if I'm your ICP, if you're reaching out to me, I'm not going to find it valuable for you to create an audit that relies on me having to give you information that's going to use my time and ultimately my money in order to get that free value from somebody that I don't know, I don't trust, and I frankly have no idea whether they actually can do what they're promising they say they can do. Okay, see how that kind of doesn't make sense. All right, so when it comes to value, actually do something. Don't just say that you're going to deliver value to them. All right, got to make that clear. So from there, and the reason this is an important approach is that you're going to be able to optimize your outreach scripts. Okay, so instead of blasting, and I hate when I see people do this, brag about, I'm sending 15,000 emails a week or 2,000 emails a day, whatever it might be, and they get literally booking no sales calls and they're not closing any clients. More importantly, I cringe when I see those people gloating about that, because all it takes is an initial, slightly slower, more considered approach. Pick your 10 ICPs, optimize your script from there, and then plug those into your automatic outreach campaigns, okay? And the traction and the engagement rate that you're going to get from that is going to be 10x compared to what it would be if you were just to, you know, guess what your offer is and guess what your script should be and then blast 10,000 leads, okay, and waste those leads. So once you've done that, we need to jump into outreach. And in order to outreach brands, you actually need leads, okay? So what we recommend doing is using Apollo. Now you can use Instantly's lead sourcing tool. They've got a lead database, which is new within the last, I think, 12 months. But we've always had great success using Apollo.io, okay? And I'm going to show you specifically what you need to do in order to find leads that will be ready to buy from you. Okay, so the first thing you need to do on Apollo is go to search tab on the left. And then what you need to do is toggle all of the leads that jump up at you, that are presented to you. You need to toggle them by three things. The first one is location. So we focus on basically Western English-speaking countries, USA, UK, Australia, whatever it might be. You know, maybe you're in the Nordics, whatever it might be, pick your locations. You need to then toggle for employees. So what we recommend toggling if you're doing this as a build and release offer is 1 to 10 or 2 to 20. The bigger you go, the more likely they are to actually have full-time members of staff and big in-house marketing teams. Okay, so it's going to be harder for you to actually close those clients on these types of deals. And then importantly, you need to actually toggle for their technologies. Okay, so you need to make sure that the brands that you are reaching out to actually have a e-commerce capability on their website. Okay, so typically the big three: Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and or Magento. But then second to that, you also want to see what they are running as their email service provider. So do they have Klaviyo already implemented? Do they have MailChimp implemented? Or are they using Omnisend, Drip, or any other ESP? Okay, and from there you can start to make your scripts more personalized. Okay, so you can always say to them in the second follow-up email, you know, I already know that you're using Klaviyo. I can see it here, or I can see that you're on Omnisend. Have you considered Klaviyo? Whatever it might be, bringing in personalization and specificity is going to really help increase your engagement rates. All right. So once you've got those leads, you need to verify them. Okay, so this is not a cold outreach, breakdown, but it's an important step, no less. And we use a tool called Bulk Email Checker. Okay, I love this website. It's super basic, super easy, and very cost effective. And again, if you jump into school, we've got free credits that we can give you there. All right, but don't feel pressured about that. You can just go through the website, verify your leads, and then start building your outreach campaigns. Now, I'm not sure who it is online, whether it's an online guru or somebody with a YouTube channel, but they oftentimes, what I'm seeing in the marketplace is that individuals are running with the same outreach strategy where they are going out to a prospective client. They're saying, okay, to send you more information. They're then following up with gifts, and then they're trying to send a free video audit or a free guide, and they're wondering why they don't get traction. Okay. What I recommend you do is focus on two strategies initially. Okay, so the first one is the manual strategy that we've talked about. Okay, 5 to 10 clients, and then from there, what you're going to do is create some sort of customized, tangible asset that you deliver to them. Okay, it's not going to demand any amount of their time. It's going to front load value and build trust so that you can get into an environment where you can start pitching them on a call. Okay. And what we recommend is doing a custom loom. Now, if you are struggling to send looms manually and it's taking more time, again, we've got a custom loom automation macro that we've already pre-built. It allows you to send over 1,000 custom loom videos every single day. So when you're actually scrolling through individual client websites, you're not just sending the same website to each brand that you're reaching out to. And again, we've got that within our school community if you are interested in actually accessing that and not having to learn and build it yourself. All right. Now, with the volume-based approach, okay, this is going to be your automated approach. In Instantly, you're going to get to a point where you can ramp up to, sending between 100 to 1,000 emails per day, depending on the size of the infrastructure you've got. And this is the sequence that we typically recommend. All right. So email number one is typically going to be a pattern interrupt. Okay. Now, we've had great success with email copy and subject lines that don't really make sense. Okay. They're sent in a way that really demonstrates that they've been sent from a human. Okay. And one thing that you want to overcome, and the noise that you want to cut through today in this, hugely growing AI arena, is one where you can clearly show your prospects that you are actually a real tangible human. Okay. And that's the difficulty a lot of guys are having with AI automated outreach, is that no matter how good they are getting at it, and no matter how good the scripts are, human psychology is so nuanced that recipients of these emails can tell, even though the subject lines might be right and the personalization might be right and the specificity, they just have a hunch. They can tell, there's a gut feeling that the email has not been sent from a real human. Okay, now following this pattern that we do kind of overcomes that. All right, so introduce a pattern interrupt, have something in that first email that is contradictory, controversial, different, unique. Okay, you have to think critically about this. If you are sending out an email like every single email or ecom agency out there, okay, I've noticed this about your store and you're leaving money on the table, and we can add money to your top line revenue, and book a call with us via this link, and okay to send you more information. If you're doing that, stop right now and actually sit down and do the hard work. Think critically about what you can actually do in the immediate term. Okay, so we'll oftentimes do things like lowercase with grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Is this still your number, Jeff? Whatever it might be. Jeff tried to call you. Is this still your is your number still valid, or whatever? Okay. Now what you'll find is that you'll get negative responses, you'll get no responses, but you'll also get a response. Okay. And the goal of cold outreach is to get a response. Okay. So I always say this to our team: a negative response is not a bad thing. Okay. I've had clients who have replied to me personally insulting me and insulting my company that I've then closed and collected 36k cash from. Okay, so it's all about your resilience and how thick your skin is and your dedication to actually making this a success. Okay, and when people ask me, isn't ecom oversaturated? There's too much competition. At the first hurdle, maybe there is. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of individuals, teenagers in their mum's basement, spamming brands with offers that are irrelevant and then doing no follow-up. Okay, but there's not many guys out there who are taking the time to go through a video like this to learn how to do it properly, actually have an offer of value, deliver value and build trust upfront, and then follow up relentlessly. Okay, so the success of actually closing clients and success in sales is largely based on your ability to follow up and have the stamina to do so. Okay, so if you go to the gym and you do one bicep curl and you go, oh, this is hard, you don't just quit and leave the gym and say, oh, I want big biceps, but this is really hard. You persevere, you show resilience, you grit your teeth, and you power through it. Okay, there's no reason why you can't apply that same mindset to your business, all right, and cold outreach. So email number 2 is going to be a follow-up. We send this 2 to 3 days later. And again, this is with our value exchange, and we oftentimes offer a video audit, of which I'm going to show you every single step you need to go through in order to actually deliver something of value in a moment here. Okay. Now, when it comes to email number 3, the client yet hasn't actually responded to you, and we'll have something in there that has some sort of follow-up urgency behind it. Okay, so we might say, look, we helped your competitor do this. We want to quickly share it with you before we go our separate ways, whatever it might be. We want to just put our kind of, kind of foot on their neck slightly, just to put a bit of pressure to show them that we're serious about working with you, and actually what we do is serious. If you ignore us, there's going to be serious consequences. Okay, so talking about the video audit. What you've got to make sure with the video audit is 3 things here. Okay, so specificity, relevancy, and transformation. Now, when it comes to actually demonstrating the value in that audit, you want to talk about something specific you found with the brand. Okay, so from previously when you actually signed up to their email list or you got their product, maybe it's a delay in shipping times, maybe you didn't get shipping confirmation, maybe you only got 1 abandoned cart email and they should have 3 to 5, whatever it might be. Find something and write it down specifically. Okay, alert their attention to it specifically. Don't just say you're leaving, email marketing is great for an ecom brand and you're leaving money on the table if you're not doing it correctly. Have something specific. Okay, you have to start putting tangible legs to the deal that you're going to pitch to the client. Okay, now second to that is relevancy. So make it relevant to their brand and their products. Include their product names, whatever it might be, and again, directly relate to the issue that you found. Is it in their welcome series? Is it in their browse abandonment? Is it in their abandoned cart flow? Whatever it might be, their graphic design. You have to mention it specifically, okay? And again, talk about your transformation. So don't just say, we do email marketing and that's what we're great at and we will help your brand. Tell them specifically what you do. We had 30k of monthly recurring revenue through placed orders within 5 days or your money back, okay? You have to be specific. What your offer is and the value that you deliver and the transformation you deliver has to be relevant and it has to be clear. Do not leave any room for ambiguity, all right? And lastly, do not forget with all of the outreach that you're doing to have a clear CTA, okay? Now, when it comes to CTAs, there's 2 ways. You can manually have a CTA where you manually book the client into a call or a calendar link, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But once you've set up these sequences here, the beauty of of Instantly is that you're going to be able to leverage their AI technical, basically their AI, what's the word, sort of technical capabilities in order to automatically categorize the responses you're getting and then put and filter those clients who have responded to you into another subsequence, which is just another fancy word for another email automated sequence, drip sequence, based on the type of reply that they've given you. Okay, so when you're in Instantly, this is what we recommend doing. Set up a subsequence for positive replies, negative, neutral, and then no replies. And then again, hammer home the CTA. Now, do not overlook the importance of actually doing manual work. Okay, so when you get an email back, you need to monitor your Unibox on Instantly and your Gmail account, whatever it might be. Do not overlook the utility of actually doing some work for your client before they've paid you. Okay, so go to them. Don't just tell them, oh, that's great, you did a positive reply, here's my calendar link. Go to them with a time and manually book it in for them. You know, hey Jeff, that's brilliant. Glad you found it helpful. Is 2 p.m. okay tomorrow for a quick 8-minute call? I'll send the diary invite over now if yes. Okay, just let me know. Send me a yes back, and I'll do it now. That's how specific you have to be. Okay, and I promise you, if you start doing that now, the time it takes for you to actually book sales calls is going to cut dramatically. All right. The people that don't have success with this model are the ones that want to systemize and automate and scale without actually doing any work or having any systems in place to start with. So when you book the client on their call sequence, this is what we do. So we basically follow a two call close. And now the first call is really for us to further qualify that prospect. So this is what we call an intro call. It will be anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. When you send that diary invite to your prospective client, stick to your word. Okay, so if you say to them an 8-minute call, send them a diary invite for 8 minutes. Don't try and just wangle in more time. You have to, at every opportunity and correspondence you have with the client, you have to demonstrate that you will do and you do what you say. Okay, so if you promise something, do it. Okay, and this is going to be important because if you have opportunities like this to demonstrate your word and how truthful and trustworthy you are, when it comes to actually pitching them the price and selling them, they are already going to have trust for you. They're going to believe you. When you've said an 8-minute call and you send an 8-minute diary invite, they will notice that. Okay, it will act as a pattern interrupt, and they will realize they're dealing with somebody who does what they say they do. Okay. Now we will just qualify them. Okay, so there's loads of different qualification kind of tactics and frameworks we can use, but quite simply, these are the 3 core pieces of information you need. You need to understand whether they have the budget, and a quick hack that we use for this is to ask them about their current ad spend. Okay, so ideally you would want to ask every single client, what is your budget? How much can you pay me right now? What cash do you have in the bank right now to pay me for this service that I'm going to promise to deliver to you? Okay, a lot of brands, they won't be that candid with the information. Okay, and if they don't know you, if you haven't done enough to build trust with them, they won't feel comfortable giving you that information. All right. But one way and a good hack that I recommend you do in your agency is to actually ask them about what they are spending on other things in the business, and then you'll get a picture of their budget and how much they have to spend, and they'll probably even tell you what they have to spend on email marketing. Okay, so ask them what their ad spend is, and ad spend is important for retention because, you know, arguably it's hard or impossible to retain clients and build out lifetime value if you can't actually acquire them. And most brands are spending money; they're paying for Facebook ads, TikTok ads, PPC, Google ads, whatever it might be, to actually acquire customers. Okay, that you can then leverage for your retention strategies. So ask them, you know, how much are you spending? You know, if you don't mind me asking, how much are you spending currently on Facebook ads? Oh, we're spending 50 grand a month. Okay, that's interesting. How long have you been spending that? Oh, you know, for the last 5 years, we've literally not turned it off. Okay, you can start to see what their kind of budget is. Second to that, you need to identify their need. Okay, and you really need to kind of solidify their needs. So find out what they actually have in place. Ask them about their flows. Ask them about what they're already doing on the email marketing front. Now, don't be put off by this, but a lot of the times there's this kind of quote in sales that the prospect will lie. Okay, the prospect lies, and it's not that they are consciously trying to lie. It's more that they might just not actually have a handle on what they are doing lately. So we've had accounts where they say, oh, we're doing all this, we have email automations, we do SMS blasts, we do all of that, and then when I've actually got access to their Klaviyo account, they've got nothing in place. They've got one email campaign that they sent out a month ago. Okay, so it's very easy. Once you get access, you can then start adding value. All right. The third point here is urgency. So find out how urgent it is that they actually want their problems to be solved. Okay, how urgent is it to them to start making more money and increasing lifetime value of the customers that they have? And from there, and on that call, you want to get Klaviyo access. Okay, so you've created your free Klaviyo account. you want them to add you as an admin, or not an admin, as an analyst to their Klaviyo account. So make it clear to them, as an analyst, you won't be able to see billing, you won't be able to change things or schedule things or post anything. All analyst access will allow you to do is see what they're doing in their account, and for you to actually bring and apply your technical expertise and then give them something of value that they can take away for free if they want to improve their brand. And from there, you want to book them onto a demo sales call, okay? So you want to say to them on this call, once you've got their Klaviyo access, right, I'm going to put pen to paper, I'm going to sit down and knock heads with my team, we're going to go over your account, and I'd like to actually present this to you on a 45-minute call tomorrow at 2 p.m. Does that work for you? Okay, give them specificity, make it easy for them to say yes. Don't put the ball in their court, don't hang up the call, great, we're going to work, I've got a new client, and then try and book them onto another call and then get ghosted. Book them on to another call. All right. Now we've got a little way to go. And like I say, guys, this is 45 minutes in, absolutely no editing. It's easy for me to talk about this again because I'm doing this day in, day out. Okay. And I'm hoping that it's helping you so far. All right. So on the demo call, here's the natural process you need to go through. You need to unpick their pain points, okay? And the way that you do this is through a series of open-ended questions. Now, again, this isn't a video upsell to our school community, but it's an incredibly cost-effective way to actually get access to all of these processes and scripts if you're interested in. We have scripts for our entire consultative sales process and all of those open-ended questions, okay? So you want to be in an environment where you are asking your client questions that enables them to speak and enables them to speak uninterrupted, indefinitely, where you can note down key pieces of information. Okay, so ask them what you're struggling with. What's been the problem with marketing agencies in the past specifically? Why don't you like marketing agencies? Have you had graphic designers in the past, and how good have they been? What's the problems that you've run into with graphic designers? How do you find writing copy for your emails? Who does that in-house? What do they struggle with? Okay, these are the types of questions that you need to unpick and unravel on this demo sales call. From there, you need to start kind of aggravating those problems. Okay, so if this is an experienced brand owner and CEO, the chances of you winning on a purely emotive based sale is going to be less than it is a new time founder, not least somebody who's trying to buy a product for a solution to their own personal problem, like weight loss or something like that. But you want to just kind of aggravate those problems. So when you unpick those pain points and those bottlenecks, start to kind of get them to repeat back to you how problematic those things are. Okay, so how does that affect you? That terrible agency you worked with, what do you think that cost you in terms of monthly recurring revenue with when it comes to new orders? Okay, or those designs that freelancer did for you that didn't work very well. What do you think that did for your domain and your sender reputation or your brand reputation? Okay, you need to just aggravate. You need to actually make it clear to them that these are real problems that they need to solve. Okay, so from there, you can then start talking about the solutions. So you can say to them, and this is not with pitching your service, not telling them what you do, but you actually need to start about talking about the solution. So you can say, okay, well, design is, if design's not a big problem. It might seem like a big problem. It's lost you 50K in the last 2 months, but with a few key strategic technical inputs, the good thing is actually good design built to e-commerce current best practices can increase your placed order values by 3, whatever it might be for their industry. You need to start layering the solutions to the problems that you've aggravated. Only at that point is when you can talk about your offer. Okay, so you can say these are all the solutions, and then after that you can say, and this is really great because we've had this long conversation, and good news is that we can actually help solve all of these things for you. So everything that I've just talked about, we can do for you. Before you pitch the price and before you make your pitch, you then want to value stack. Okay, so Hormozy talks about this, but you want to talk to them about what it actually looks like if they were to engage with you. So you could say to them, is now an appropriate time? I can sort of just tell you a little bit about what we do and what you would expect if you were to hypothetically work with us, what you would actually get over the next 24 hours. At this point, they are going to say yes. Okay. From there, you need to value stack. So you need to talk about every single element that you will deliver for them and why that is valuable for them. Okay. And you might even want to associate a cost to that. So, within 24 hours, we'll be delivering 50 email templates. Typical agency will charge you $250 per template. We're not going to do that. And we're going to save you 20 grand in 24 hours. Okay. Whatever it might be, stack every individual item of value and, parlay that against a price. Okay. And that's when you can hit your pitch. Okay. So your pitch is going to be your offer. What we want to do for you is good news. I think we can work with you. You know, I think it's clear at this stage we can actually deliver immeasurable valuable to you. And what I want to do is onboard you within the next 24 hours. Here's what we're going to do. And all you're going to have to do is pay 6K upfront, and there's going to be no retainers on the back end. Sound good? Okay, that's how you want to leave it. All right, so I've got other videos on sales. I'm not going to go into it here. But once you've gone through the close, if they say yes, you issue them with terms. Now, we don't issue an opportunity for them to redline or negotiate on terms because we are delivering an infrastructure build. It's a product, okay? So it's a service that you productize. It's not an ongoing marketing agreement, a contract that you're going to have to negotiate and redline. We give them a boilerplate. So it's you have to sign it. In order to actually get the build, all right? And from there, you send a payment link that they then pay. And once they pay, you will have to run them through onboarding, which we will go into next, all right? If you can't close them, you might have to book them onto an extra call, okay? But remember your manual CTAs here. Actually book them on the call, okay? So if they're not ready to commit there and then, say to them, would it help if we actually had a quick 10 minutes just to revisit this, Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. I can put you in now. I've had a cancellation, whatever it might be. Book them in, get them to accept it on the call. Okay, so date and time, and then just repeat the process. Go back to the demo. You can do a summarized version of this, if you've got a shorter call. But this is going to help you, again, really stack that value and help you lead to that pitch scenario. All right, so onboarding. And now I appreciate one thing I've actually missed out here is how to audit the accounts. And I do have a separate video on this, and I might just race through this in a moment here, but I've got a separate video on the channel about how to actually audit Klaviyo accounts. So when you're creating that video audit for them, this is the specific process that you need to go through. This video there, I'll link it in the description, is going to show you specifically every single thing you need to pull out from their account, all the information you need to ignore that isn't really relevant, the information that you need to pinpoint and then talk about in your video audit for them. All of that is included in this process here. So if we're almost at an hour with this video. If we have enough time, I'll go through it in the end here. All right. But what I want to talk about now is onboarding. Okay. So here's what we do with onboarding. Once the client pays, we onboard them within 24 hours. Okay, so we send a next steps email. In that email, we give them a Slack or you can give them a Discord invite depending on what sort of chat feature you use, and we give them a Google form questionnaire. Okay, so you want to give your brand some sort of means of them giving you the required information that you need in order to actually deploy the service. Okay, now without that information, you're not going to be able to deploy that service. So when we say we deliver this within 24 hours for our e-commerce brand specific companies that we're working with, the 24-hour period applies once we have all the assets in place. Now, this is something that we implemented in order to solve a problem we had with the agency when we were running it under a traditional retainer-based model, where we would basically close a client. They would then pay us upfront. We changed that originally. They didn't. They paid us on the back end. They would pay us up front, and then we would actually have to chase some clients 5 days, 7 days, 14 days to get the information we needed. We needed to get their hex and their colorways. We needed to get their logos, images, things like that. And although they had paid, they bizarrely would not get themselves in order. They were chaotic, and they would not spend the time needed to actually give us what we needed to deploy the service. And you might think, well, that's fine, they've paid you, but when it comes to a retainer-based service, we would then get to the end of the month and they would blame us for the lack of progress, okay? And because you're trying to keep your clients happy, you can't then go back and say to them, well, you're terrible, you didn't give me what I needed and I asked you 50 times and you've already annoyed them. The communication line between you and the client, your relationship is already starting to break down, okay? So this build and release process overcomes that. If you say to them, look, the build will be delivered to you within 24 hours of onboarding, so we need all of that. So if they take 7 days or whatever, they've already paid you, bear in mind, okay? So they've paid you up front, you've collected that cash, it's safely deposited into your bank account, and it's up to them. The pressure is on them, the urgency is on them to deliver what they need, what you need from them, okay, in order for you to do your job. So the way that we get that is through a simple Google form questionnaire. We get the one point of contact, so we don't want to talk with loads of different representatives in their company. We want one point of contact. We get contact details, and then we also give them a way to book in their bi-weekly calls. All right, so we found that a call every 2 weeks for no longer than 30 minutes has been good for our account managers to actually just keep that communication line open and that relationship still positive and engaged with the client. You could do weekly, you could do monthly, you could do no calls at all. And again, this is really only kind of relevant when it comes to actually being able to sell them on the back end a retainer-based service. So brand assets, logos, colorways, and images. Now, when it comes to service delivery, it can really be categorized in two halves here. Okay, so flows and campaigns. So when you're delivering Klaviyo as a service to your clients, you're going to actually deploy for them or help optimize a handful of basic and advanced flows, and then you're also going to launch campaigns for them. Okay, so what we do within our infrastructure build, and again, it's available in school, is we separate these between basic and advanced, and what you're going to do for them is basically deploy welcome series, abandoned cart, browser abandonment, and then any other kind of third-party integration or subscription or review tool. All right. On the campaigns front, we have 5 to 6 different templates that we use for any brand, and we still use these to this day. Okay, so instead of email blasting customers and a brand, which a lot of brands shamefully still do, we have 5 or 6 different styles of campaigns that we can kind of inject into different segmented broadcasts and campaigns that we are scheduling for our clients. And these namely include product and promos and releases, sale campaigns, so if there's a specific sale on, newsletters or brand builders, blog posts or any sort of long form written content, and then VIP/loyalty campaigns. Now, when it comes to product promos, you can then further kind of separate these into single product or multi-product, depending on how many SKUs the brand actually has that you're working with. All right. Now, when it comes to the customization process, this is something that we've been able to build in-house. And really, once you have all these assets in place, either through getting them from us, if you want to engage with us on that basis, or through a contractor, or simply if you built them yourself and have the time to actually do so, all you're going to have to do for every new brand is actually replicate all of those clonable assets into their account and then go through a slight customization process to make sure that the design, copy, and anything technical is specific for their brand. Okay, so design-wise, all of our templates are pretty much, I mean, they're 90% editable now. The reason for that is that we actually incorporate dynamic blocks and variables into those designs. They're not created on Photoshop from scratch where you can't actually drag and drop anything. And equally, they're not just built in Klaviyo's drag and drop builder where the kind of user experience isn't to best e-commerce practices to date. All right. So we ensure flow in that way. So it's easy for us to actually swap out those designs and apply them to new brands, regardless of the niche, regardless of the vertical. Okay. So when it comes to customizing copy, we just leverage AI. So ChatGPT, we've got a number of different prompts that we use. We focus on basically things. ChatGPT, depending on what model you're using, will throw out a load of stuff. If you ask ChatGPT to create a load of emails for a welcome series or campaigns, they're going to give you a load of unnecessary emojis or whatever it might be. Best thing you can do is actually give them examples. So go out there, find other emails that you've signed up to, and plug those into your prompts and give them examples specifically of what you want the model to actually create for you. Okay. Now, when it comes to technical, it's probably not relevant at this stage, and it's indeed not relevant if this is your first build and release offer, but we will just usually outsource technical. So we've got somebody in-house now that we use for any kind of deliverability and kind of techie optimization pieces we need. But you can largely outsource if they have anything specific that's really, a technical issue that you can't solve yourself and you don't have the knowledge to do yourself. You can always find somebody for an immediate upfront project. Now, we're almost there, guys, okay? We're almost there. It's almost an hour long, unedited, all right? I need a break after this. So the last stage here is offboarding and upselling. And this is really where we get into the kind of upsell and cross-sell and retainer-based element of build and release deals, okay? So at this point, you're going to have a very happy client. If you've delivered on your promises, okay, you're going to have a very happy client and they are going to have put a lot of trust in you that's been rewarded. All right, so you've delivered something to them overnight. It's of incredible value. They're going to be able to take that forward with their brand. It's future-proofing their brand indefinitely, forever. They're not going to have to continue paying for you, but because of all of that goodwill and that trust, you're going to be able to leverage that into retainer-based services. Okay. Now we have found counterintuitively that if we don't talk about retainers until this stage, we close pretty much almost, it's insane, 100% of the build and release deals that we've secured, we will close them on a retainer basis afterwards. All right. Now that can either be a cross sell, depending on how high you've priced your infrastructure build. It can be a cross sell. It could be the same amount. It could be a down sell. Maybe it's account management, whatever it might be. Maybe you build them $8,000 for the build, but you want to do $2,000 for ongoing account management. Or maybe it's an upsell. Maybe you build them $3,000 for all of the flows, and that was in your infrastructure build. And actually now you want to do account management for them. Typically we won't bill anything less than $5,000 per month for ongoing retainer-based services. Now, when it comes to what you can actually deliver in those retainers or for those retainers is here, okay? So that could be anything from additional email designs. It could be new copy, or maybe you're going into a sale month. Maybe it's Christmas or January New Year sales, and you can actually overhaul their copy for them. Maybe it's just ongoing general account management, or it's technical optimization. It could just be campaign management. Okay, so a lot of brands, they will pay you for that immediate build of all of the automations that will kind of just require you to keep them in tip-top shape and to keep them optimized, but they will actually need somebody to take care of all of their campaigns for them. Okay, so that's where you can build in design too. Maybe they actually want more third-party tools integrating. They want reviews.io or Recurly, whatever it might be, they want built into their Klaviyo emails natively, and that's something you can upsell. And then again, advanced campaigns and flows here. Okay, so from here, you just want to close them. Again, send them a subscription pricing link, and then what you want to focus on is getting a testimonial. Okay, so a testimonial is a value exchange. Okay, and if you are focusing on top line revenue and you don't have testimonials, you might think, oh, if I sacrifice a month, then they'll give me a testimonial. Don't do that. Okay, you need to be paid. You deserve to be paid for the services that you are providing, and you always want to focus as the entrepreneur on top line revenue. Okay, so. All right, so I just hit an hour on this Loom video, and I guess that's Loom's capacity. I wanted to do this completely unedited, but I'm just going to tag this video onto the end of the first hour here. Okay, so what we were talking about was testimonials, all right, and what you don't want to do is ask for a testimonial if your focus is on top line revenue. Okay, so close the client on these upsells, cross sells, and downsells, and then get a testimonial. We use Video Ask. If you've worked with us already, you've probably even left us a Video Ask testimonial kindly, and then from there you can ask for referrals and offer to pay commissions for those referrals. So if you're working with, I don't know, a group of brands or whatever it might be, then they might refer you to other brands, other clients, and you can pay them for those referrals. All right. So like I say, guys, the only thing I didn't touch upon in this video is the full audit process for Klaviyo accounts, but I do have another video on that where we go through exactly the same thing here. And really what it comes down to is just qualifying the brand, picking out those key pieces of information that you can then leverage to actually get into a sales call environment with your client, where you can then pitch them, close them, and make money from them. Okay, so hopefully that has been a monumental help to what you're trying to achieve with your build and release ecom email agency. Like I say, if you haven't already, jump into our low ticket school community below. You get a free Go High Level account with that too, plus the Ecom Email Accelerator, our Ecom Email agency guide, and a whole host of other resources and unlimited support in there. And I'll catch you in the next one. All right, cheers.